first day at school, this was the traumatic part, right? My first day at school, they changed my name, as they do to everybody who has a Spanish name.
Really?
Right?
To what?
Well, my first name is Guillermo.
Guillermo.
So they changed it to William.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's totally, that was traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember coming home very upset. And I was upset, not just because of that, but I was upset because in the second grade, first of all, in the first grade in Tijuana, we never learned how to do printing. We learned longhand.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm doing longhand. I'm doing multiplication tables. I'm doing, you know, big stuff. And not only am I taken out of the second grade where I was in Tijuana, I'm put in the first grade, right?
Mm.
And they're doing 2 plus 2. It's like 2 plus 2, I'm multiplying and stuff like that. And you guys are writing cat and dog, and I'm writing longhand. And so the educational thing was a huge, huge shock for me. I went home very upset after that first day. And then it took me a long time to kind of get into the flow of things. But I figured out soon enough, because I remember I missed the day at school one day, kind of teaching you to read.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and they had a new word. And the Anglo kid next to me, I asked him, what's that new? And he didn't know. And so I figured, darn, if these guys don't know, I got to teach myself.
Mm.
And so basically I taught myself to read. But by the time I'm in the 3rd grade, my library card is filled with books. Right? When I was in Mexico, I heard this in Tijuana, was the word, but it was kind of a pun on the word, a joke on the word, because somebody said that they had relatives in Chicago.
Mm.
We made a joke of the word Chicago. That's the only word of English I had ever heard.
Yeah.
Right? I had not been exposed to U.S. culture, right? We'd go to the movies on Saturdays, right? But to see Mexican movies, right? And so, of course, at home, all I heard was Mexican radio. We lived next door to a bookstore. I'd go in there all the time, but it was all Mexican comics, and right? I had no idea what was happening.
So, why did you decide to come to San Francisco?
Well, I had visited San Francisco before when I was about 19 on a break. I was at that time at Los Angeles City College during Christmas break. I had a friend here and kind of hung out. I liked it. I liked the ambience. I knew it was kind of a poetic city, and it had that long tradition. And you know, I had grown up in Mexico City, right? And LA was not my idea of an urban city, right? And so I was kind of looking for that. And it's kind of a story I tell in my book, The Medicine of Memory, but basically after returning from Cuba when I was about 20, 21, I was being harassed by the FBI and stuff. And they came looking for me several times and things like that. And so I just felt it was time to disappear for a while. And so that's why I come to San Francisco. But I come fleeing, literally, one step ahead of that guy. I'll tell you a story. Right?
Yes.
I taught here at State when I was about 23 years old.
23 years old?
Yeah, because I had already published a book.
Um,
But I didn't have a degree. Right? But it was at that time when nobody had degrees. Right? So I taught here for about a year or so. And then later on, after all these other experiences, I come back to school kind of late to get my degrees and all that stuff. And the very first time I was hired back by Dr. Cuellar, the very first day I walk in the class to teach a literature workshop, I walk in, my usual introduction, hi, I'm Alejandro from the Mission District, and this young man raises his hand, yes, and he tells me the story. He says, well, my name is Oscar Murguia, because you know it's very common in Central America. He said, and I have a brother named Alejandro Murguia, and the FBI has been harassing him for 7 years because they think that he is you. I go, great. Thanks for saving me for 7 years of harassment. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But they went to my parents' house, told a bunch of lies about me. They did a lot of sort of underhanded things. But what can you expect of the FBI if not underhanded things?
What?
Thinking back on your early political activity and your emerging craft as a writer, how do you move between one and the other? Did they stimulate one another, or were there conflicts there?
Well, for me, and I think for most Latin American writers, they are the same. There's no separation, no difference between my poetry, my politics, my activism, my worldview. It's all the same, in a way, right? Even my love poems have a political slant to them, right? Because even love, unfortunately, is political in our context. Yeah? And so it's rare that I write something that has no political context, right? How can I don't know, to me, there is no dichotomy, there is no contradiction, it's the same thing.
What do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
Well, being poet laureate of San Francisco isn't too bad. And of course I'm the first Latino, right, to have that honor, and it is an honor, but like I said, and I've been saying that to everybody, that it's not about me being honored, and I understand that perfectly, right? But it's about this whole community that I belong to, right? This whole work that we have been doing, right? And it's not just me.